So, you want to explain what's going on here?
Well, for this particular topic, I had to just embrace my inner MLG swag 420 360 no-scope personality.
Sorry, dude, I don't have this lexicon. I'm way too old for this. What are you talking about?
Get good, Scrub.
Exactly, Scott. He speaks my language.
I'm 31. I have no idea what your clutch
Kill
was. What about?
streak,
You got a
bro.
bag or something?
Bag?
Yeah, clutch bag. That's the only thing I know from. I know that, but I don't know what you're on about, boy.
Yeah. Better than ever, to be honest.
Whoa.
Do you know why?
Why?
Crash Team Racing's coming out soon.
Oh, and we
Do you know what
yesterday, didn't we?
We did. So me and Jules went down to London, and I thought I'm going to see what the new build's going to be like, the whole Nitro-Fueled thing. You can check out our video for more in-depth thoughts and all that thing. But one of my worries going into it was that they weren't going to get the physics right. They were going to change it a little bit. And me, having been playing that game for, I don't even know, it's at least 2 decades. I'm going to say I think 1996 is when it came out.
It's as old as me.
It is. It's about as old as you, and I'm just as lovable. And I play it all the time. And I pride myself on the old CTR. And so when we went down there, I was like, what if they've changed it? What if they've changed the feeling of it? In just even in the little bit way that would mean that I wouldn't be able to thrash Jules as much as I wanted to all of yesterday. They haven't changed it. It's brilliant. And I thrashed him immediately. I came first.
Oh, right.
And then I didn't stop coming first for the rest of that whole event. What?
Stop. You are false news. This is absolutely false news because you got
That's not true.
You got beaten loads.
There's footage of it. I'm in
The
first.
guy that was working for the Daily Mirror, he absolutely whooped your ass.
He did not at all. That's not true. That's
beat you
not.
as well.
I don't think that's true either.
I did. So I've got bloody
I mean, check the footage. Check the footage. Point being that the thing that I'm the most satisfied by is my reigning championness at CTR. And so you can do the exasperated face all you want. I won every single time, and I challenged the whole world. And so that's what I'm throwing down. I'm throwing down the gauntlet.
So what you're saying is that when it comes out, we're going to stream it, and you're going to challenge any and all comers, and you're going to win every single time.
Yep.
If you don't, that means that you're going to do something like a horrible punishment.
Well, that wasn't.
That's what you.
That wasn't. Well, I wasn't.
Guys,
That.
That's what I've heard.
Scott. That's a real shame for you, isn't it?
We'll have to see.
No, we won't. CTR.
Yeah.
Yeah, now you're not looking so confident, are you?
Yeah. Gonna win.
With every great tale of accomplishment, there must first come a tale of woe. And I feel like the best, most satisfying moments come from first being very, upset and unsatisfied so that you can then feel the triumph afterwards. You might not know because I don't talk about it very often, but I really, really like Dark Souls and Bloodborne. I know, I love them. I love them. And I've been playing through Sekiro recently. It just came out a couple of months ago. I chose, for my own reasons, I chose to record it. So basically, I was playing through this game a lot slower than everyone else. Jules and Scott and Josh, who had all said, yeah, we've done it, it's hard, but we did it, we got through it, it's fine. And then I had myself, I was like, right, these guys can do it, I can do it, I am good, I play these games all the time, I am good. And then of course I got to the last boss, which, mute if you don't want to know what the last boss is, his name is Ishin, which was a really big shock because he comes out of the guy's neck. Yep. So I was already quite on edge. And then I had the back of my head, right, everyone says this is really hard. Oh God. I'm getting emotional remembering about it. Basically, flash forward 2 hours later and I'm pretty down. I am pretty down. I had a really quite tough week, in fact, and I was like, I can't do this. I've never admitted that before in a Souls-like game, that I was like, I can't do this. And it was a really, really horrible feeling. I was like, I am not good enough and everyone else is so much better than me and I'm never gonna do it, and it was horrible. Went away for 10 minutes. Came back and killed him. Yeah. And oh my goodness, the feeling was like unlike anything else. It's I suppose it's kind of like a cheat because you have to go through so much to be able to get to that point, but it really does, it sounds cliche, but it really does make that so much sweeter. It does, it felt amazing. I was crying, I'm not even exaggerating, there was tears, but it's just like, I will remember that, I think, forever as just being this most satisfying moment where I was just kicking those feelings to the curb, how dare you ever think you're not good enough. because you can do the thing, and that goes for all of you as well. If you're stuck on a shin, I feel your pain.
There are loads of like really personal stories that everyone goes through in games, but this one is the satisfying moment for everyone who's played that game, which is Half-Life 2. By the end of it, you just want to complete it and then just get through see it to the end. And then you come to this bit where you go into, I can't remember the name of it.
Citadel.
The Citadel, that's the one. And all of your items are taken away. You're like, okay, I've spent all this time trying to get these weapons and you're just going to take it away from me. Great. And then you see the gravity gun, which has been overpowered to heck. And to heck. And yeah, like the most satisfying moment is like ripping off all the things off the walls, grabbing people from like far away, that sort of stuff, grabbing all those like energy balls and like blasting them off to people and just like evaporating every single person in that thing. But yeah, that's just one moment which everyone's been through, and it's so good to just experience that. But one personal story I've got is in Jackbox, and that's in Party Pack 3, I believe it is, and it's a game called Fibbage. Now with Fibbage, you have to make up a lie which seems convincing. They give you a question and you have to put down your answer, which is a lie. The story is quite recent because I played it with my family like back in Christmas, and we were playing it. I introduced them to it and they seemed to love it, and I loaded up Fibbage. And there was this one question which said something along the lines of, which cuisine is do most Chinese people eat for like Christmas, something like Christmas Eve or something like that. And I knew the answer straight away. I knew it was KFC, and I put that down to see if it was going to accept it. And they said no, it's too similar to the one that we've already got. So I put KFC and then put in brackets Kentucky Fried Chicken to make it look like it was the actual answer. And when I put it down, every single person in my family chose that one. And I chose the one which said KFC. So I won, not only did I trick every single person, I also won every single point on that round. And that was extremely satisfying.
I'm going to talk about Overwatch, and back when that first came out, they introduced a character called Anna, who was like a snipey healy boy who could like snipe you from afar and like give you heals. It was really cool. I had a moment where I was like 1v1 against a Genji and I managed to sleep him and run away and like kill him. It was really cool. But then actually, I think it's on Anubis, the map, and we just taken the first objective on there. I've actually got footage of this, which I'll send to Rich so you can actually put it in the thing. So basically we'd just taken that bit, and then if I recall correctly, we were running out of time to get the next objective, and they kept on holding us down a little narrow corridor, and then I had my nano boost, and I was like, you know what? We got a Reinhardt here, he knows what to do. So then I nano boosted Reinhardt, and basically what that does is it makes the person in the nano boost, back when the meta was that way, they basically get like invincible, and so did that, they charge in, hear all the nice little elimination noises. I'm like, oh, that's nice. Literally takes down the entire team, goes onto the objective, does his little earth shatter move, and then we get on the point. And then I nearly get killed by a Hanzo at the end, but like, we won the game. It was great, and then everyone upvoted the Reinhardt at the end. No one recognized me, but you know, I know the part that I played. I know, I'm kind of like the boss from Metal Gear. No one's going to know my story, but I still did the thing.
I do. Too soon, you.
He knows my thing.
Like, isn't that the sort of like profile of all the writers here at WhatCulture? We scalped their fame, basically.
Yeah, sorry, Josh.
Yes, and Benji. Hi, Benji.
And me.
Oh, I forgot about you.
Well, I don't want to step on Rachel's toes, but I have a quick one from Sekiro, and that was beating the demon of hatred, because that turned me into a demon of hatred. My girlfriend at the time was sat on the couch with me while I was trying to kill this boss over and over again, and I was getting so agitated that she would like have her legs on me, and I'd be like, it's your fault that I'm dying because you're making me too warm. And there was a bit where I'm sort of like sat on the floor. I think she took a picture of me and put it on Twitter, whatever. I'm just there in the glare of the screen, sort of dead-eyed, hair all over the place in like a bean-stained top or something, trying to beat this boss. And when I finally beat him, I felt that hatred flow through me and was vanquished forever. Now I'm the nicest man of all time since then, so I'm quite pleased with that. But my actual main personal achievement is platinuming every single Crash Bandicoot game in the Insane Trilogy, which sounds like it might just be, like they're kids' games, they can't be that hard, but they are really hard, especially when you have to get all the trophies that involve the time trials, because they are ridiculous. You've got to get through these hard levels within a specific amount of time, and if you die, you go back to the beginning, so you're playing the same thing over and over again, and it was just a mess. This was like the summer between finishing uni and starting this job, and it was nice outside, but I had the curtains down. I was playing this game for 7-hour stints, trying to get back and forward, not get hit by the penguins and the seals, and it was so frustrating. There were crisp packets everywhere. I hadn't washed, I hadn't done anything. My parents were knocking on the door like, Josh, you're all right. No, I'm not. I need to finish Crash Bandicoot 2 and get the time trials. But then I did it. And again, like the demon of hatred flowed through me, I was vanquished from all those terrible behaviors, and I could rejoin society as a better, smarter person.
Father Dearest,
Hey, son.
what is the most satisfying video game moment for you personally?
Well, this is the thing. You can attest to this from the upbringing that I've given you, that I do like a good beating every now and again. And I can keep a beat as well, which is why I feel very passionate about the game Rock Band, because when they announced that you'd be able to play plastic drums with your mate and annoy all your neighbours with this sound of clipping and clapping and tipping and tapping, I was all over that like a rash. The problem is, I got too good. I got too good at it. I was on expert within a week, because I basically had watched loads of people in America playing, and I was actually drumming along on my desk waiting for my one to be delivered here in the UK. Then when it got there, I was jumping up the ranks. Eventually, the rest of my flatmates caught up with me, and we decided, after beating all of that we'd attempt the endless setlist. And if you don't know what that is, that's every single song in the game back to back, and you cannot change the difficulty and you cannot back out. You can pause it, but no one was going to do that. We started with what we thought was a decent amount of time. We probably started about, 5 p.m. It was still going at 3 a.m. and we hadn't finished it because we'd failed quite a lot. And obviously it just says, like, do you want to keep going? Just retry it, keep going, keep going. My hands were getting to the point where I had like blisters and cuts, like at the end of Whiplash sort of thing. My friend Tim was just like, I can't do this anymore. He started like getting dizzy because of like, obviously the scrolling of the notes going up, and he was like, I have to sit down for a bit. So we all went downstairs and we chilled out for a bit, and we're like, oh God, we're not the only ones in this flat either. So we had my friend Kelly and Miranda who were upstairs, and I checked my phone, and all it said was, my God, are you guys still going? Please shut up. And it was like 10 minutes later, oh my God, shut up. I have an exam like in 2 days' time. And we're just like, this is really, really bad for everyone around us, but we have to see it through. And we got to Run to the Hills, which is one of the final songs in the game, if not the final song, I can't remember exactly. And I remember sitting down, I was shaking, my hands were there, I was so tired at this point, I was sweating bucket loads as well because we'd gone through it. I was like Neil Peart with my shirt off sort of thing. Sat there, we're like, okay, Tim, we've got to do this. And he basically goes, I'm gonna star power you, or Rock Band power you through the difficult bits until you get your drumming down. And basically I got the star power, got through to about 10 seconds before the end. I died, completely like crapped the bed, and he's the only one of our band that's left alive, and we just had to get him to tick the song down, and it literally, that noise that it makes, that sort of brrr at the end, it was just about to trigger as it went, yes, and we literally exploded. It was so satisfying. We woke both Miranda and Kelly up, and as a compromise to that, we cooked them a nice meal the day after, but I was dead, didn't go to lectures, didn't do anything for the next day. I just sat there like feeling very smug for myself, and when my mum was like, oh, did you get up to anything over the weekend? Yes, mother, I did.
There's quite a few things spring immediately to mind. I remember one of them was dinging for the 70th time in World of Warcraft before 1 second later realising that I'd wasted the last 300 hours of my life and I had like university assignments to do. But so it was a tempered sense of satisfaction. And it was also, I vividly remember finally receiving the diploma from Professor Oak in Pokemon for completing my Pokedex, which was like an epic year-long battle that involved congregating in the school field as we all like grimly cloned our completely legitimate Mews. So like that was really something. But I think my most satisfying gaming moment doesn't actually relate to a specific game, but more the first time I ever laid hands on a GameCube controller. For months and months and months, we've been reading Nintendo have designed the most ergonomic pad of all time, and once you touch it, you'll never touch anything better in your life. And I mean, I was like 10 at the time, so I was thinking, God, that's setting the bar pretty high. But when I eventually got one, and I thought I can't live up to expectations, but honestly, it was like plunging my hands into soft clay. I mean, it was so beautiful. It's like, oh. And for some reason, every day at work, I carry a GameCube controller around with me, and it's like a personal stress ball. Like someone's just plunging my fingers into those squishy foam-like shoulder buttons. You know, it makes me feel at peace. And I've actually got one with me. Oh, look at that. And after this, you can all have a touch. I'll let you. I'll gather round and just de-stress.
I want to start with an honourable mention. Honourable mentions of shotguns, generally. Bit of a weird one.
I thought you were going to say Tetris. That's what
I was tempted to say clearing Tetris Effect in one go, but no. Shotguns.
Okay.
In many, many games are a wonderful, wonderful thing to use. I've been playing Rage 2, which it's fun, and the shotgun in that is a lot of fun. Weird shout out to the shotgun in Call of Duty World War II, the trench gun.
Your favourite gun.
Yeah, that thing was very, very nice, but I'm still to play Resident Evil 4 and experience that shotgun, because apparently that is the best shotgun in all of gaming. Anyway, the most satisfying moment for me comes from a game released nearly 2 years ago now, known as Cuphead, which I'm playing through again because they've released it on Switch. And you know that I love this game. You know that Jules and I love this game, and we're going to stream the DLC. We plug it every time we mention it. It's going to happen at some point. We'll find out at E3, hopefully. But going back through that again, the most satisfying moment in that game, I think, is surpassing the first boss that really, really grinds against you. And that could count for any boss in that game. But for me specifically, and I think maybe generally, it's the first boss that really throws almost everything at you. And that's my boy, Cagney, at the end of Inkwell 1. He's the boy that really ramps the difficulty up. Like going back and playing it again, I know the game, I know the bosses, but when you go through the route pack, you get Ribby Croak, Scoopy Legrand, and Hildeberg in Isle 1, like they're all much simpler when you go back to them. Cagney is still the one that is a pain, and that's the first proper hurdle you come to, even when you're playing this game again. So when you eventually get past him, for me, like that was the point when playing it again for like the third or fourth time, I just think, this thing's still getting at me. Like what? Why? I should be able to like breeze through this right now, but I still don't. But it also means that when you do eventually beat him, it is incredibly satisfying. Beating any boss in that game is satisfying, but Cagney specifically is the one that opens the rest of the game up, and it's where, like, as soon as you beat him, you're like, okay, this is where the bar is from here on out.
Do the dance. Do the dance.
I've done it once. I've done it again. It's almost like the band's here. All right, Josh, what's this?